This week we've seen Twitter censor President Trump twice, the first time over mail-in voting, and then the second time they marked his tweet as violent when he called the protesters thugs and said when the looting starts, the shooting starts.
The shooting starts.
Yes. We've seen that he signed an executive order this week against Twitter and Jack Dorsey, and we've also seen that the guy at the head of integrity from Twitter, did you see this guy?
Yeah.
He's the head of integrity from Twitter, and he was calling all Trump supporters Nazis on his Twitter account. And this is the guy that's in charge of basically probably putting the shadow ban on many of our accounts on there.
Yep.
And yeah, you can't tell me there's no bias there. And then even Mark Zuckerberg has spoken out of being upset with Jack Dorsey. Is not happy with him for flagging President Trump's tweet. He claims that he stays out of political things like that.
Right.
What did you make of what Twitter did to President Trump? Are you glad he signed the executive order? And what do you think President Trump should do from here?
I'm glad he signed the executive order because Twitter has been mucking around with a lot of counts of conservatives. Speaking for myself, on behalf of myself, I know that they have been messing around with my followers. I've been shadow banned. I don't think some of the people see some of my tweets for a while there. I think for about a month, I decided not to tweet because whenever I would tweet, they would come in and take away a follower. So yes, Jack and his whole team of thugs are behaving as if though they're publishers. And they say that they're not. So when they say that they're not, they're saying, oh, well, we're just providing the platform for people to exchange ideas and put their thoughts out there. But the moment you start tagging a tweet, the moment you start saying you violated our policy, buddy, you're behaving like a publisher and you don't have the rights that you once had. So people should be able to go out and to sue you. So for them to say they're going to tag the president, his tweets, because we're going to fact check him. Really? Well, what about fact checking the tweets of the Iranian Khomeini? What about fact checking Chinese tweets? All the propaganda that they're putting out there. And what about the porn that's on Twitter that you claim you're not supposed to put on Twitter? Are you serious? I mean, do they actually think that we don't see this? And then to flag his tweet about from the looting starts to shooting starts, well, the president was right. Because if you look, I just want to go to the tweet right now. There is a gentleman who was recently killed, I think in California, a security guard was killed while the so-called looters or protesters were out protesting. Now, say that to his family that, oh no, the president is just stoking just fires and he's trying to create discord. Yeah, Patrick Underwood from Pinole, California, was identified as a federal agent who was shot dead in connection with the George Floyd protests in Oakland. So tell that to him. So it seems to me that the president was right. Once the rioting starts, the looting starts, the shooting starts. What was wrong with that? Considering the tweets that Omar and her band of thieves are constantly putting out there, are you serious? Do they hate this country so? Do they hate conservatives so? Well, yeah, they do hate conservatives. But they would try to censor, flag, and fact check. Well, fact check all the Democrats who said there was Russian collusion. Fact check all the media who said they had evidence. Because as we know now, there was zero evidence of collusion. Zero. Fact check Bob Mueller and his henchmen. So once you start trying to fact check the president, why don't you fact check all the other people who come out constantly? Maxine Waters, Nancy Pelosi, Jerry Nadler, Adam Schiff, all these band of liars, Don Lemon, Chris Cuomo. All these people need to be fact checked. So don't come to me telling me that, hey, we're fact checking because we don't want people to get the wrong information. No. If you're only the vehicle for about a change of ideas that's supposed to take place, then, buddy, you can't fact check. I don't care if you are a private company, because the moment you start fact checking, you become a publisher because you're now editing and you open yourself up for liability. I'm glad the president signed that executive order, and I hope the Attorney General hold them to it. They're behaving like a utility company. So they should lose all those privileges that they have. because I'm sorry, they're now behaving like a publisher, not a utility company. So they should be able to be sued and sued for libel. It's ridiculous. I mean, Jack Dorsey has been doing this for quite some time, and he comes off as being this new age person. Oh, well, and don't mess with my staff. You know, come to me, I make the decisions. Yeah, buddy, get off your yoga mat and go into the office and look around you, because the country is burning down because of you and your band of thieves and lies. Wake the heck up. Come on.